I'm a sucker for those new decade anniversaries, the ones with a nice round zero at the end of the number, especially the Disney related ones. Last year, I did a Disney triple feature 1995 30th anniversary review for a Goofy movie, Pocahontas, and Toy Story. The year 1996 didn't have three iconic Disney movies like 95 did, but it had a signature Disney Renaissance movie, and that's all I needed to do a retro review. The movie we're going to take a look at is The Hunchback of Notre Dame. Without a doubt, the most up movie ever produced by Walt Disney Animation Studios. An adaptation of the classic Victor Hugo book from 1831. I was 1 year old when the movie came out, so obviously no theatrical experience for me back in the day. I watched the movie for the first time in the mid-2000s, and then several times afterwards, including this 30th anniversary rewatch. I would have hoped Disney would have done a theatrical re-release, but they don't care what I think, so I just watched it again at home. In The Hunchback of Notre Dame, a deformed bell ringer's desire to see the outside world leads him to meet and befriend a kind and beautiful gypsy woman. To understand this movie, you need to first understand the era of Disney films it was released in, and that was the Disney Renaissance of the 1990s. This was an era where after a few decades of slumping movies, Disney films went back to the original classic 40s and 50s formula of adapting classic iconic stories, but this time in the 90s applying modern filmmaking techniques and sensibilities with a musical Broadway flair. This formula took Disney films to an unprecedented level of excellence that I have a hard time believing we'll ever see again. The stories didn't just come from a fairy tale source, but originated from a variety of sources ranging from historical figures, Greek mythology, ancient legends, and classic literature. The Hunchback of Notre Dame was the 7th of 10 films produced. By this time, audiences knew what to expect from this Disney resurgence, and everyone was looking forward to the next big thing after mega hits like Aladdin and The Lion King. Given the subject matter this movie deals with, it has a much more sophisticated, mature type plot than basically any other Disney movie you'll see. It's just got this special aura to it that transcends typical Disney, yet perfectly fits the filmmaking qualities of the Renaissance. When it comes to the story, adapting the Victor Hugo novel was a bold choice when it comes to the subject matter for that original story. In elementary school, I actually read the story before I ever saw the movie. I was aware at the time there was a Disney movie based on this, so reading that story and seeing the ending, I just thought, holy shit, how the hell can Disney make a movie based on this? Needless to say, given this is a Disney movie, if you go in looking for full and faithful adaptation of the original story, then you're gonna be screwed. Although the fact that it's a Disney produced film, that was never gonna happen. You only get the general premise, setting, and key characters in Quasimodo, Esmeralda, Frollo, and Phoebus. That's the most to the extent I'll go into comparisons to the book. It's not the first or last Disney adaptation that is not fully faithful to the original source. With this movie, you can see that the big dollars from the previous Renaissance films got funneled into this movie, making it one of the most spectacular 2D animated films ever produced in terms of the animation. Wow, just the level of character animation, background artistry. To me, only Disney's Tarzan and the original Golden Age films can rival Hunchback for Disney's best looking 2D animated film ever produced. It's just amazingly dynamic in so many ways. The backgrounds just look all around incredible, and capturing old school Paris with the centerpiece of Notre Dame looking sensational on the outside and inside. Music wise, the film is pretty top notch as well. The songs fitting the themes of the movie, with the kind of lyrics, theming, and atmosphere different from your more bouncy hits in The Little Mermaid or Hercules. Quasi's Out There song is beautiful lyrically and visually. Love that Festival of Fools songs, the visuals are just so fun and good. But Esmeralda's God Help the Outcast segment is the kind of stuff you just don't see from any modern Disney animation. No, I didn't forget to mention Hellfire. More on that in just a bit. But beyond just your lyrical music segments, the score is just powerfully epic from the moment the film starts and really elevates the scenes all the way through with the choir type vocals. Separate from the actual movie itself, but I just thought the posters from legendary poster designer John Alvin were just pure artistry and the kind of stuff that just elevates the aura of the Disney Renaissance. The only technical thing in this movie that can be a bit distracting is the use of computer-generated characters to fill the backgrounds in the crowd segments. These characters stick out like a sore thumb, as there's no substitute for classic 2D animation at its best. But if it means we get a wonderfully animated rest of the movie, then it's a solid trade-off. All of this technical prowess makes the movie feel wonderfully epic. So obviously it gets to the question, why is this movie deemed so effed up? Well, obviously you gotta look to the story and characters for that one. This movie has hands down the most f***ed up character messaging ever seen in a Disney movie due to the nature of its deformed protagonist in Quasimodo. Quasi, like everyone else with a dick in this movie, becomes smitten with Esmeralda after she befriends him, making it seem this movie might become another version of Beauty and the Beast. But then it becomes very awkward, albeit realistic, when the story gets turned sideways, once Phoebus is the one who gets Esmeralda. And with how things play out at the end of the movie, you're just left with a very weird, untraditional feeling story in terms of your resolutions, even if Quasi did get his own personal reward at the end. Moral of the story, if you're ugly, no love for you, but eventually folks can accept who you are. You just gotta save the city from a tyrant. I think they did a great job with Esmeralda, making her the kind of character visually and personality wise that everyone would fall in love with. That dance from hers is something else, but bravo to the animators making her hot as hell. For whatever reason, there was criticism for Demi Moore's voice acting at the time, but I don't know, I've never found any issue with her as the character.
Esmeralda.
No, you're not hurt, are you?
No.
See? No harm done.
But no doubt the element that perhaps stands out the most about this movie all the years later, and earns it the reputation it has, is its central antagonist in Judge Claude Frollo.
Remember Quasimodo?
Yes, master.
This is your sanctuary.
A sinful man in power who kills a mother with a child, attempts to drown a baby, and is willing to burn all of Paris down just to compensate for his lustful desires. The 90s had its share of horny villains like Gaston or Jafar, but Frollo is next level with a whole song dedicated for his desires for Esmeralda. Tony J's voice is just phenomenal for this character, and that Hellfire song and segment is a true masterpiece. Any Disney villains ranking list is automatically invalid if you don't have this guy at worst in your top 5, and I would dare say top 3. But this movie has the great all-around filmmaking seen throughout Disney in the 90s, which means it's just as much fun for the adults as it is the kids. Although in this movie's case, I'd say it's definitely more adult-oriented than most Disney features. Most of this movie's more traditional humor comes from the trio of gargoyles.
Hey, Quasi, what's going on out there? A fight? A flogging?
The Festival of Fools.
All right. Wine, women, and song.
Did you ever think of going there?
Those guys are worthwhile sidekicks, especially for the company that keep Quasi. They have some decent side gags and humor moments. I don't buy the criticism there is for the song A Guy Like You done by the Gargoyles. It has a narrative purpose in building up Quasi's confidence before the next scene takes a big on it. There is a weird feeling I'm left with by the time you get to this movie's ending. Despite its nice climax, it's just got this weird messaging that makes it feel incomplete in terms of a character journey compared to your classic hero journey movies from most other Disney movies. But even with that issue, its excellent all-around qualities leave you with an excellent movie. I want to go legendary for it, and there's a lot about it that is, but I just can't quite go to that level overall, despite loving the movie.
Discovering the magic within himself. The Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Like basically every Disney animated movie pre-revival, this one got a direct-to-video sequel released in 2002. It sees a scheming circus owner's ambitions, inadvertently leading to Quasi potentially finding his own special someone. Given the effed up messaging of the original, I thought it was nice that you had a story where Quasimodo finally got some ass. As improbable as it may be, I didn't mind the love story between Quasi and Madeline. It had good enough development, cute moments, and personality-wise made sense once we were introduced to Madeline. Madeline was voiced by Jennifer Love Hewitt, a real babe in the early 2000s.
He sort of inspires her to be a better person. And it's a really amazing story, and it's one of the best love stories you could ever see.
Thankfully, they were also able to bring back your main voice actors from the original, so it feels authentic on that level. But everything about this movie is actually decent, with or without grading on the direct-to-video curve. The only thing I just find really unacceptable about this movie is its coloring. Animation-wise, it's okay by straight-to-video standards, but for whatever reason, it's colored using that style from TV cartoons in the 90s, instead of your sharper computer-generated technique. It's pretty baffling it was done this way, especially when by 2002 direct-to-video sequels had a sharper look to them. Eventually you get used to it, but I still don't think it was the right way to go here. But the ending is actually kinda cute and more satisfying than that of the original, and helps complete this two-part story character-wise. The experience of watching this movie this particular time was good enough to have this movie right in between I liked it and meh.
You can watch it over and over again. It's a really sweet story.
Thank you.
The Hunchback of Notre Dame 2. Premiering only on video and Disney DVD. 2001.
And there you have it with the Hunchback 30th anniversary review. I wouldn't hold my breath for this one to get the live action reimagining treatment. I don't think Disney would have the balls to try that, although it would be pretty epic to check out. Unfortunately for Disney, Hunchback doesn't really have the same kind of merchandise opportunities like your Disney princess movies do, or some of your other more mainstream hits. And then in recent years, there's been nothing of Hunchback. It had a mediocre showing as a World in the Kingdom Hearts series, and then there's really been nothing of Hunchback at the Disney park. So it's definitely a kind of Disney movie that people have to go out of their way to discover in the modern years. So that'll do it for this Hunchback 30th anniversary review. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you for watching.
The Hunchback of Notre Dame.